Welcome everyone from everywhere to the Tell Your Truth with Jeff Dog. Before we get started, first thing you need to know is go subscribe, like, and all other necessary things that we do, that we need to do to keep things going, to make things happen. Announcements for the day is D&D playoffs. We in the semifinals next week. This Saturday coming up, 150th Street Park, Conduit. You know, we had 280 kids, and now we're down to less than that, of course, when they start losing. Make sure you show up. Make sure you be there. Show the support to the children. We like to thank everyone who's been supporting. Just keep supporting. My guy, Trey Bags, Scar Blood, some of y'all know him as. I call him a changed man. He's been in jail for over 20 years now. He started an organization called NOOW. It's called Not On Our Watch. He's fed up, so I call him a changed man. He's trying to do something. This August 8th, he have an event at 15902 Jamaica, Queens. In the park is a basketball game. They're going to be honoring Dave Edwards. God bless the dead. And they're going to be a lot of food, a lot of fun. Make sure you come out. Support. It's from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. On a somber note, we lost a good queen from the neighborhood, Tasha. Shout out to Bugs and Boogie and Cara. Sorry for your loss. To Allah we belong, and to Allah we're going to return. They have services on the 15th. I don't know exactly where the service is at, but you can get in touch with somebody from the block. We'll figure it out, and we can get to it. Because, you know, we need to go support the families, as we should, and as everybody else should. Now, shout out to my other fellas from 118. They kind of barked on me this weekend. They had like a little birthday, whatever, and they cursed me out, said I ain't shout them out yet, so I'm going to shout them out. Shout out to Charlie Rock, Dave Bing, Roger, Ramel, True, Black, and everybody else. I can't, shout everybody. It's too many of y'all. So, you know, I love y'all. Love is love, and we will have our day on this here show. With that being said, this week starts the month of the women. I call it Women's Month. The reason being because I've been having all men, and the only one I ever had outside of the men was Erica Ford. And you know her. A lot of you know her, knew her, or whatever. Today I have a new person that I don't even know. I don't know her story. I just know she do a lot for her community. And you know where I stand when it comes to community and things of that nature. So she's going to introduce herself. We're going to welcome her to the show today. Welcome, Miss Yolanda Hutcherson.
Yes.
Oh, hello, Yolanda. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
How you feeling? How's everything?
Excellent. I'm here talking to you. I'm in the land of the living, so
it's
good. A beautiful thing.
That's good. Tell the people who you are, where you from.
Sure.
Give them a little bit.
Yes. So, like mentioned, my name is Yolanda Hutcherson. I am from Hempstead, Long Island, born and raised there. Been there pretty much all my life, but did take a break for a few years to go to college, and came back to Long Island, came back home. So just a little bit about, I'm good. Thank you. Just a little bit about myself. I'm superintendent of Parks and Recreation for the village of Hempstead. Shout out to Hempstead. We are the largest incorporated village in the state of New York. Yes. Yeah.
And you went to school out there?
Yeah. So, went to school in Hempstead, graduated from Uniondale High School. And after that was off to college.
How was that? How was that time of your life, the Uniondale time?
Oh, it was good because you know what? Majority of my life, I went to private school.
Oh, okay.
So went to private school in Hempstead, and around 11th grade, I begged my parents, can I go to public school? because all my friends were there. Even I had friends from private school going to Uniondale High School. So, and my brother was going to college at the time. So I set up a little meeting with my dad and was like, listen, you can save a couple of $1,000s.
Right.
But let me go to Uniondale High School while he goes to college. So I think that kind of hooked them in.
Right.
And they let me go. And what I will say is my first year, my first half of the year, I failed majority of my subjects because the same education, the education I was getting at Uniondale High School was not the same that I was getting in private school, if you will. Even though you pay thousands of dollars to send your kid,
right.
But when I went to Uniondale High School, I had teachers who looked like me. I had teachers my parents knew in the community.
Right.
You know, they were invested in the children who were there.
Right.
And so they treated you a little differently. And the work they required you to do some work.
Right.
And it wasn't just like, oh, do this and do that, but they required you to do the work.
Right.
I took classes about the Harlem Renaissance and who was in the Harlem Renaissance. So it was definitely a game changer for me. But listen, my parents knocked some sense into me, and then I got back on track and was able to graduate.
And that's important that we have people that look like us and people that teach us that want to. It's very important because you're not going to grasp what's going on until you really feel it. Like you got to understand what's going on.
Absolutely.
And that's a good thing that you had to go through that.
Yep.
How was so you say you went to HBU. Did you graduate from Uniondale and then go to HBU? Or how did
Sure. So I graduated from Uniondale High School, and kind of all my life I knew I had a lot of my family who went to HBCUs. So my parents gave me three choices. You can go to college, you can go to the military, or you can stay here. And my parents have a business at the time. So you can stay here and go to work and pay me rent.
Right.
So I had all the three. Number one, going to a college was definitely priority, because ever since I was little, even though my dad went to a HBCU too, ever since I was little growing up, I don't care where we traveled, where we went. If there was a college or particularly a black college where we traveled, my dad made sure that we went to the school, we drove around, we got out, and he asked the questions. So I just kind of knew that I always wanted to go to HBCU. And so I went to North Carolina Central University in Durham, North Carolina, and went there and had the time of my life, had the best experience, one of the best experiences of my life, and graduated.
What did you major in?
When I went, I was a nursing major because I knew for sure that I was going to be in the medical field because I had a really good pediatrician, black pediatrician, black guy. And, but when I got to school, those math and science courses kicked my butt. So between that and trying to, go to school, balance life, party, you know how it is on the HBCU campus. So, it was a little bit much for me. So, one of my classmates was telling me a little bit about parks and recreation and physical education and recreational therapy. Some of the stuff I ain't never heard of. But I knew it took a lot of my course credits I already took with the medical field. So, and just kind of transferred it over, and I was able to graduate. So that's where I got introduced to parks and recreation and how recreation helps people in the community. And that's how I ended up there.
So let's go back a bit. Yeah,
sure.
You said you went to Uniondale. Prior to Uniondale, your youth, how was your youth coming up? How did you have any drastic things? And was it easy? Was it hard because of your dad or whatever? I didn't get to your dad yet.
Okay.
I just how was your youth?
Sure. Listen, I grew up both my parents are from the South. So, and they hail from two huge families. My dad has 10 siblings. My mom had 15. So growing up, your cousins hanging out with your family was key. My dad was a big family. Well, he's still living. So he's a big family man. So grew up both my mom and my dad in the home, my brother. I had a really good childhood. I can't really complain. My parents had their issues too, like any other couple. So just to see see them and watch them navigate through that. Talking about, I was a latchkey kid.
Right.
So some of the youth may not know what that is, and I joke sometimes they may not know what a latchkey kid
Talk
is.
to them. Tell them what it is.
Yeah.
Tell
So
them.
latchkey kid, listen, you go to school, you come home, there's no daycare involved.
Oh, yeah. Right.
You got your key,
Right.
and you let yourself into the house.
Right.
And there you go. When you come home, I came from an era of you change out of your school clothes and you change it to your play clothes.
Right.
That's it. You had your church shoes, you had your
Yeah,
school shoes,
Your play
and you had your play
That's
shoes.
it.
That's it. You didn't have this multiple
Right.
wardrobe like kids have now.
Yeah, the South people raise you though. They raise different.
Definitely raised different.
They don't care if they got a whole bunch of money. You still gonna have
Yep.
bop, bop, bop,
Bop,
until
bop.
something happens.
There you go.
Something big gotta happen.
That's it. So that's it. I grew up in the summertime. Like it's a summertime for like us now. So as a kid, you get a chance to stay outside a little extra longer until the street lights came on.
Right.
And my mother would yell at the back window if it was late and the lights came on, you ain't in the house. She would yell my name, and you knew to get your butt home.
And how many was it? Y'all again? How many was it? How many
Just me and my brother.
Oh, okay.
That was it. Yeah, I didn't come from,
okay.
because my parents came from a large family, and they were like, no, we cannot. We're not gonna
do that.
No.
Put them through that.
No, because you try to feed 15 kids and feed 10 kids.
Right.
They were like, no, we're gonna have a small
Who's
family.
the youngest? You or your brother?
I am.
So you're the spoiled one.
Yeah. So it's just a 2 year difference.
It doesn't matter. It could
No,
be
no,
2
yeah.
minutes. You guys just take that. You the spoiled one. You get all the perks.
And I'm the girl,
and he gets in all the trouble.
Yep.
He can't even win that.
Nope.
It's over. So when you say you work for Parks,
Mhm.
the largest, what does that even mean? Like, tell the people, what do you do over there? Like, first of all, what made you go that direction? You said that the people taught you that, but what made you actually go into that direction?
All right. Well, I'm gonna be real. When I graduated college, like a lot of young people out there, you don't really find the job in which you majored in.
Mm-hmm.
So out of college, I worked in the healthcare field. I staff nurses for private duty for like your home, or if your loved one is sick and you need somebody to sit there in a room with them. That's what I did. And I staffed for like Duke University Medical Center. After college, I remained in North Carolina. So I didn't immediately go to Parks and Recreation right after I graduated college. I stayed there for a little bit. Then I moved back to New York, and I got a job at my local social services, Nassau County Social Services, and Child Protective Services. So I did that work, and it really is along the line of social work.
Right.
So I was like, I love this. I love working with people.
Right.
I love working with families and children. And that's how I got a passion to work with the community, work with the families. Even though CPS do get a bad rap, I understand that. I get it, because they just think that, a lot of people think that CPS just takes away parents and children. I mean, parents and their children, split the families up. But you're really giving a service to those kids who don't have a voice, who don't, can't really speak up for themselves. So work in that field really for 14 years. And I'm gonna tell you how I got into Parks and Recreation. Somebody remembered that I had a degree in Parks and Recreation, and not that many people know that.
Right.
Just so happened that somebody did, and they were like, "Yo, the guy over there that I only knew, the only person that I ever knew who ran the park in the village of Hempstead was retiring." And they say, this man retiring, so you better call the village, you better call somebody and check it out, see if you can get in. So I did, and I interviewed. I called the village, interviewed with the mayor and everybody, and I became appointed to my position. But it's civil service, so that really means you have to take a test to keep your job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Still.
Ooh. So even with the degree and everything, had to do that, but that was taken care of last year. So I was able to take the test and become permanent with the village of Hempstead. But that's how I got into Parks and Recreation, like 20 years later. And so I just feel like it was just a divine setup. Like who knew that? And this kind of leans into people mentioning you in rooms that you ain't even in yet.
That's good.
That's good. That's what
so your name got to be good.
There you go.
Got to keep your name good. You never know. Don't burn no bridges. You never know what can happen. What's going forward. You need to be sharp. Keep your name tight as you possibly can.
Absolutely, if you can. And
That
I
was
always
good.
speak to people. Character means a lot because your character gonna speak
That's right.
about you before you even, like I said, I don't even know you. I'm
Right.
just meeting you today.
Right. That's a fact.
So, but somebody recommended me.
Right. Right. No,
You know,
that's right.
and not to say I'm tooting my own horn,
But they
character,
recommended
it speaks
you.
for itself.
And they recommended you to me. So
Yeah.
that means a lot for me.
There you go.
I didn't know he was going to bring Big Dave, but that means a lot. You know what I mean? But anyway,
Yes.
Just to bring some fun. But
Yeah.
let's go back.
Mhm.
You said you worked at CPS?
Yep.
That's
Child Protective
Services.
Mhm.
I know you've seen some things over there.
Yeah.
Some people, our people, there's a lot of struggle going
It's
on
a
over
lot.
there.
It is. It's a lot. You know, and I always joke with people because people every time I go into different neighborhoods, they always want to know, is this only going on in my neighborhood?
Right.
I'm like, no, I've gone to the hood, to the $1 million homes.
Right.
You know, to people who are unemployed, to the professors, the attorneys, you know, everywhere in between. So every family has issues that they're working through.
Right.
You know, I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect environment,
Right.
but you know, definitely some that are more loving than others,
Right.
some more supportive than others.
Right.
But listen, children go through challenges. Parents go through challenges, and that was the joy for me, is to go into each and every household and learn a little something about the culture,
Right.
learn a little something about the child, learn a little something about the family.
Right.
So that's what I enjoyed about that position.
Part.
That position.
Did it ever, did anything ever happen that made you like, oh my God, I can't do this right now. I can't do this no more. Like something drastic? Or?
Well, luckily I worked in CPS, and a good portion before I got my position as superintendent, the last 8 years, I solely did sex abuse investigations for children. Solely. That's all I did. So that's a steady diet of you talking about children, what people are doing to children on an everyday basis. So when they asked me to go over there, because I was just finishing up my degree, getting my master's degree in social work, and I'm like, nah, I'm not that good with children. I don't think I am, but because I'm like, I didn't know how I was gonna
react to that.
Yeah. And also, what a lot of people didn't know is that as a child, I was a victim of child sexual abuse. So I didn't tell them that going in, because I didn't want that to impact me.
Right.
They, think that would impact my work with the family. Right. So I said, I'll go on over and work with the families. And when I say I absolutely loved what I did for the 8 years working with this specialized unit for sexual abuse for kids, because I work with an amazing team of people, including special victims police. Right. So
that had to be hard for you to have to do. However, you brought it up. I don't know nothing about it.
Gotcha.
But is it, do you mind speaking on it?
Sure.
What you went through, what happened to you, to make you that happened to you?
Sure. So I was I would say, I can't remember the age, but around 10 years old. And it was with a female cousin of mine. Now that I can see, now as an adult, she has mental health. She's a mental health, definitely mental health issues. So as a social worker now, she definitely had a multiple personality disorder. She was schizophrenic, so I do know that. But not to say that anybody, just because you have this mental health disorder, you don't sexually abusing people.
No, don't work like that.
No. So, I can remember it happened to me, and it was only one time. So whenever the work that I did in sexual abuse, I always say, listen, these kids are my heroes, because you have so many kids who endured months, multiple incidents and years of sexual abuse. Mine was only once or twice that I can remember. And that kind of, I would say maybe from high school, kind of blocked it out, but something triggered my memory and I kind of remembered what had happened. But it was with a female cousin of mine.
Wow.
And like I said, that I'm not saying help me, but I can understand really what the shame sometimes these kids go through, and trying to help also the parents with dealing with kids who have been sexually abused, because we always speak to our kids. I can't speak for everybody, but I just know that, the narrative is you're always talking about the stranger. Watch out for the stranger
No,
around
it
your
don't be. It
child.
be the right there.
Let's
The
not go
uncle.
over there because the
Mm,
stranger. But the truth is, the majority of the cases that I have,
be a
this
family
is not
member.
stranger danger.
It's family.
These are family members.
Mm,
Majority of family. These are people who have access to your kids, people who you love,
right.
people who you trust, people who your children trust. And
Right.
that is like, for me, like the same dynamic. It's like that cousin of mine was one of my favorite cousins.
Right.
And so when I speak to kids, they're like, that was my auntie, that's my uncle, that's my grandma, that's
Right.
my grandpa.
Right.
So sometimes it's confusing, like, what do I say? What do I do?
Right. Because right.
Is somebody going to believe me?
Right. Right. Right.
And because sometimes the predators, they do trick the kids and be like, don't say that.
Don't say that.
And nobody's going to believe you. Or you have these, subtle threats. Like,
Right.
I'm not going to say anything.
Right.
But I always, in the interviews for the kids, every time I end the interview with the children, with them, I said, you know what, you guys, you're brave. You said something. Even though you feel like, things are turned upside down because you got the police involved, you got a social worker involved.
Best way to go.
You have everybody asking you questions, but you said something.
Right. You
And
stopped it. You put a stop to it.
There you
could have
go.
kept on going.
Absolutely.
And destroyed you.
That's right.
Which is my next question. Like how you say you didn't really understand it then because you was going through it then. But when you found out, when you realized that had happened to you, how did it affect you mentally? Like, what did it do to you? Because it sure didn't stop you from what I'm hearing, from what I'm seeing in your resume. But how did it affect you at the time?
Sure. I think you kind of, your mind, sometimes your subconscious kind of helps and it can hinder you, right? So to help me, I just stayed buried in what I do,
right?
And that's how I was able to do the work with the sexual abuse. People are like, how'd you do that and not take it home?
Right.
My husband can attest to it. I didn't come home crying every night,
right.
But I compartmentalize very well,
right?
So I can kind of like leave that here and not take that here,
right.
And not break down. But it still sneaks in a little bit,
right?
It's so funny because when I wrote a children's book, and I'll get to that in a second too, as well.
We're gonna get to that.
Doing my work with sexually abused, doing the investigations, I wrote a book about a young girl and a cousin. Something happened to her, and in order to prepare for that, I started therapy. To say, because I know it's going to be a lot of people who, one, didn't know that I was sexually abused.
Right.
People are like, when did this happen?
Right.
Why you didn't say anything?
Right.
And so even though, like you said, some of the things of how do I keep going or how did it affect me, it sneaks in a little bit. Even with procrastination, I learned that in therapy, procrastination, that's something that kind of, not saying messed me up, but that is a trauma from the abuse.
Oh.
Yeah, is that sometimes I can see this needs to be done, this needs to be taken care of, and it's like you're stuck and you can't move forward. But still working on that, and it's a day-to-day walk, but it's not crippling. But I'm able to move forward.
Right, and that's the best part.
Absolutely.
But the procrastinating part that you just said is, I never even heard that, and a lot of people probably never heard that. To be able to say that I don't want to move forward, and you don't even know why.
That's right.
You don't even know why you're not moving forward. But the reason is something that you may have to go through therapy or whatever you need to talk to, who you need to talk to try to work your way out, to find somebody to talk to. Absolutely. Is that hard? Was that hard, finding somebody to talk to?
You know what? As a social worker, I didn't find it hard because I know the value in it.
Okay.
And I know that's one of the things trying to convince the community, especially African-American communities of color,
right?
We don't get the help that we need because we're not going to speak to somebody about our problems because we got to be crazy or something really bad got to be going on.
Yeah, the way to push us with needles and
exactly, medication and this and that. But honestly, when anybody can seek therapy, you can seek therapy for life transitions. I mean, getting married, getting divorced. Having children, having multiple children, parenting, work-life balance. We all can use therapy in many different forms, in many different ways. You
Right.
know, we sit and talk to our girls. We sit and talk to, you know, the men in our life,
Right,
the women
right.
in our life. And we talk to the barber, and you go get your hair cut. You
Right.
talk to your
Right, right,
beautician.
right.
So just like you're talking to them, you talk to a therapist.
And that's what I was going to ask you, because we come from an era where we didn't have therapy and all that. We had to either figure it out. You're gonna have to figure it out. But
Right.
we used to talk to each other. Like you had that one person, or everybody had somebody that they can talk
Mhm.
to actually try to figure it out. Therapy, it's hard for people to go to therapy because first of all, you feel like if you're in the streets, you don't watch a lot of mafia movies, and you feel like they think they're gonna talk and tell or something.
That's right.
But the next thing is, it's like hard to tell somebody your business, like just because you on the clock. Like, okay, yeah, I was up.
Yeah.
What do you mean I was up, man? I'm really getting into it now. Like,
Yeah.
all right, give me $135 and come back next week.
Yeah.
So how does that, you know what I mean? Like, how does that work now for young people or older people who needs to talk to somebody? Like, is it therapy only that you recommend, or is it like you can find someone that you maybe can talk to get it off? Because we need to get it off. Is a necessity.
Absolutely. It is a necessity. There's always underlying issues to why we do what we do, right? And our childhood really dictates how we are as an adult. So getting the help that you need is so many different forms. Even if you find like an individual therapist, someone in your community. I would say if you're a little hesitant and trying to find someone, it could be the parent or an adult, go and seek someone out. Have initial conversation and say, hey, I'm interested in starting therapy. Ask them what that looks like. You know, am I sitting down? Am I talking to you? Are we going somewhere? It's sometimes they have virtual. If you're uncomfortable,
Right.
they have virtual therapists.
Right.
And your insurance covers it. You can talk to your therapist on the phone,
Right.
on FaceTime, you know, or another platform, or if you will.
Right.
But I think the stigma is there, and I think the more that we talk about it, the more that you see people in your community talk about it, it kind of lessens the anxiety, lessen the fear that we have on telling someone our business. And I just kind of put it like that. Like you said, you may talk to a parent. There may be someone that you may feel comfortable talking to, and say, you know, try to find that person. Just try to find a therapist. We all have different personalities.
Right.
So you have to find what fits for you, you know.
I kind of believe that. Me personally, I kind of believe that. Saying the word out loud, like therapy, it makes you, if it gives you, from what you know, it gives you that thought, like, what? I don't need no therapy. What you talking about? I ain't crazy.
Yeah.
Automatically, you think
Yep.
you got to defend yourself. Like, I can remember people arguing and they talking to their kids. You need therapy, boy. You know, you start like, what do you mean I need therapy? So it's like maybe other ways you can word it. You know,
That's right.
maybe other words you can think about it to push it, the narrative that you really need help.
That's it.
Because that's what's really what we're talking about, help.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to harp on that
Sure.
topic
okay.
long. I just wanted to make sure that it was clear what I was hearing, so that people understand that you can go through things and come out, emerge victorious.
Oh,
There's
absolutely.
it's not over. Like you said when you're a child, it really dictates your future, but you didn't allow that to hold you down. You know, so
That's right.
you moved into another realm and did
it.
what you had to do.
There you go.
So now that you've done that, you said you are the superintendent of parks and recreation, right? What does that mean? What does that do? What are you doing over there? What purpose do you serve?
Sure.
How hard is it over there?
Yeah.
Are they looking at you like this black woman and came up? You know?
Yeah,
how
no,
is that?
you're right.
Talk to me, man.
All those
I
things.
want to know all of that.
All those things, you know.
Right.
Superintendent of Parks and Recreation is, in short, someone kind of oversees all the park system. So in the village of Hempstead, even though we're the largest village in the state of New York, we're also a small piece here on Long Island. I oversee about 5 parks, and each park is a little different. So that means you're overseeing all the staff. You are overseeing the programming that goes on in the parks. People also want to come in and do things, in the parks, who from a basketball game,
Right,
basketball
right.
tournament,
Right, right.
to maybe have mental health day,
Mm-hmm.
to swimming, to so many different things, sports, wellness, to purchasing things. So I'm in charge of a budget, definitely over $1 million.
Mm.
So you have to know where to put the money, where the money goes,
Right.
and the village gives you the money and trust you to take care of what you have to take care of.
And watch you.
Yep, absolutely. And you got to prioritize
Right.
your spending. So you
Right.
can't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right,
You
right.
still got to fix the basketball courts. You
Right.
still got to buy the toilet tissue. You still have to,
Right.
get the trucks that's needed, fix things. So in short, that's what it really is. And the beautiful thing about me being a superintendent where I am is I'm the superintendent over the parks where I grew up at.
Right. So
This is the park, where my office is the park where I used to go to in the summertime,
Right.
to swim, to play,
Mhm.
where my parents would send me during the daytime.
Right.
We didn't have no formal camp. Your parents left you about $2 on the
Right,
table,
right. Figure it
50
out.
cents to go to the pool,
Yeah.
something to get a snack, and be home before your
Right.
mother get home to clean
Right.
up,
There you
so your
go.
butt won't get beat. No,
Right. No, that's a fact.
That's it.
That's a fact.
Yes, but it's a little different, because I think what's the beautiful part about it is the kids in the community, the people in the community get a chance to see someone like me heading up the park who look like them,
Right. This is what
who
I'm talking about.
who can relate to the community.
Right.
And so that's the beauty of it. And when it's so fun, because I always laugh with the kids. I say anytime I see kids coming into the park and I have to talk with them and communicate with them, I'm going to communicate with them just like they my own children.
Right. Right.
I said, if they come in here, if you come into the park and don't say hello, how are you?
Right.
Speak hello, yes,
Right.
ma'am, yes, sir.
Right.
Talking to the kids and just engaging with them, and that's what I like about
So
it.
you interact. You actually on scene on these parks. You go to all the different parks every day, or you mingle it out.
Not every single day, but my office is like the flagship park, so it's where
Okay.
every kind of a lot of stuff happens. I do get it now. It's the summertime, so a lot of things are happening at
Everywhere,
different
right.
parks. Like on Monday, we had a popular DJ Vic. He's there every single Monday, DJing in the community. They have basketball tournaments there.
Mm.
On Tuesday, there's something going on. Today, Wednesday, they have another basketball with Larry Gore,
Right.
with the town elite, doing basketball at one of our parks. On Friday, we have our free concerts at a different park. So yeah, I get a chance in that aspect to go around, and it's so many different things going on. It keeps me busy.
Right.
But like I tell my husband, that's a challenge sometimes. It's a plus. There's definitely positive, there's definitely cons.
Right.
Consequences being here, because being from the community, everybody want you to come to so many
So much
different things.
stuff, yeah.
And it's like, the person who is doing the mental health day, the person who was doing the basketball for the kids. So you try to be here and there and everywhere, but when I'm there, I'm not home.
Right.
So that's a balance. It's a balance. Yeah.
Right. Did you, before you, was the superintendent black, white, female, male? What?
It's a white male.
White male.
Who is
So
here.
how was it when you first, and now I know you probably stepping in the name of love now.
Yes.
But how was it when you first had to jump into that area?
Sure. It was a transition. But yeah, to see someone he's stepping out of her road. He's been there over 45 years, so he's been there a long time.
Right.
In the park, like I said, I can remember him when I was a little girl going to the
Right.
park, and he is running the park.
Right.
So stepping into this role, and sometimes it's a challenge being, someone in leadership in your community. People gonna tell you.
Yeah, they're gonna.
People gonna tell
You know
you.
what it is.
They don't hold their tongue. They will let you know when they rocking with you, and when they not. And it's. I laugh all the time. They were like, "We love you, but we need this and that done." They hold you accountable.
No, that's a fact. Especially still, he don't play. This guy don't play.
Oh yeah,
You want that park done. You want the floors. You want what?
absolutely.
You
They
gotta
will.
make it work.
They will call you out when stuff is not looking right, and you try to do your best to do what you what you do, but they definitely will call you out when stuff is not done. And you know what? And that's good, because sometimes I'm not perfect. I don't know it all, and I always tell people, if I don't know the answer, I'm gonna get the answer. If I need to fix it, I'm gonna try to do the best that can do to fix
Right.
it, or find someone to make it happen.
Did they believe in you? Did anybody at the time doubt you that you couldn't do it as a black female? Like,
Sure. And people tell me, people listen, people are vocal about it, because you have people who are like, yes, we have somebody who looks like us. We got Sister Girl in here
right,
who look like us, who speaks like us. When dress, when
right,
I'm
right,
coming,
right, right,
I'm dressing a certain way.
right.
I'm talking a certain way, and to have that is good. But then you have some people who were like, I don't know about this. Like, and some people didn't know. Like, I kind of like, when I came in, nobody knew that I did what I did.
Right,
Some people didn't even know there's a Parks and Recreation degree. Are you
right.
qualified to do the job? And yeah, some people doubt it, and some people, you ask people to this day, I'm sure they're like, I don't know now. But the only thing I can do is I can do my best.
I just learned
That's it.
today that there's a actual parks, the park recreational. I didn't know that,
See?
because I've been running tournaments for over 30 years.
Mhm.
I never met. I'm this the most I'm learning about all this dealing with him, because he's a local
Okay.
919 or whatever lodge he in, but he's the local. He knows.
Yeah.
So he taught me that. I never met nobody in the
Uh-huh.
park. I know I put a permit in.
Sure.
I get my permit. I sign it. I pay for whatever I'm gonna pay for. Nowadays, you got to pay for it,
Yeah.
and they give me the park. But I never met nobody. Like, that's what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
You say you be on scene. I
Mhm.
never met nobody on scene. Only people I meet on scene are the people clean up the park.
That's it.
They never show their face. So in our community, we don't even have they'll tell you, write some letter, go to some congressman.
Mhm.
I don't know who to talk to.
Gotcha.
I'm just figuring this out by
Yeah.
listening to you. So
That's
I'm
it.
saying, because you are not only you are black, you are a woman, and it's hard to look at a woman actually running a park. Not hard for me. You
Yeah,
can run
I
whatever
gotcha.
you want. But people look at it like, how's she gonna run the park?
Mhm.
Like, she's supposed to be in the damn office typing. This is what the stigma is.
No, you're absolutely right. You're right. I remember one time when I started, I was a guy in the park doing something. He came to fix something or whatever, and I introduced myself. And he was like, "Oh, I just thought that you would model it around the park. You just in the park."
Right.
And I'm like, "No, I don't model around the park. I'm here to do my job." You
Yeah.
know.
They got you with that. You kind of ain't like that one.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I didn't. No,
Ready to
don't
square
try
up.
to play me. No,
Like,
don't do
Mr.
that.
Shields right there. Like, what? Talking to.
Yeah, and then listen, when people, you have a lot of companies come to fix stuff, and they always want to talk to the man on
Right,
staff.
yeah, right.
They always want to talk to the men on staff.
Right.
And like, granted, they do know some stuff
Right,
that I
right,
don't
but
know.
I'm
And
not- right.
listen, I don't
Right.
know everything.
But I'm still in charge. You can talk to who you want to talk to. You got to talk
Exactly. Yeah, you
You
roll
gonna
up in my
talk to me.
house and
Right,
you don't
right.
acknowledge. See, when you don't acknowledge,
to me.
then
Right.
that's not right.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that's not right. You're not gonna go anywhere else and do that.
But it's hard for black women. It
Mhm.
really is. I don't know why we still stuck on not allowing them to be who they are. Like, we almost
Mhm.
got a black woman president.
Absolutely.
But a lot of our men, not just black men,
Mhm.
men period, can't seem to say, all right, she can be in charge. Why is that? Why is it? I mean, maybe you can help me.
Yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes when it comes down to it, maybe you have not seen a woman in that role, and not just parks and recreation, but in any places. Some fields are male dominated, and you may not have seen a woman in leadership. So you may be like, oh, okay. Just like when Kamala Harris, when she's running for president, and you have a lot of women, you have a lot of men who are like, I have never seen a woman president. I don't know, can she do it? Don't know if she's capable of doing it. That woman was qualified.
How do we not give her a chance?
That's right.
We give. I'm not even gonna say his
Yeah. Okay.
name.
They gotcha.
Come on, how could you not give her a chance? Like,
Yeah.
what was the problem there? Is it because of all the different things that was going on in the Biden camp, or is it because we just can't seem to accept that women are evolving and we need women to be in certain positions now? They doing more than what we are doing. Not to knock men. I'm never gonna knock men.
I gotcha.
But I'm never gonna knock my black sisters
Mhm.
either. Women, period, in the whole. If you're doing stuff, And the only reason I say blacks is because it's, for me, I see it's easier for the Caucasian to be in these positions because, the uncle, and it's easy for them to give them that. You had to work.
Privilege.
Right.
Let me say that.
That privilege. That's
Absolutely.
a fact. You had to work for it. You had to get the degree.
That's
They
right.
come make you take this test every time you say. So for you to be in that position, you worked for that. Why can't I support you? Big Dave supports you.
That's
Big
right.
Dave
He
in the
does.
building.
That's absolutely
You
right.
want my hoodie, baby? I'm here. What you need? Big Dave in the building.
That's right.
Big Dave is a husband, y'all.
That's
He
right.
over there. You don't see him, but Big Dave came in here like, what up? What up? So, I mean, but,
You're
on
right.
honesty, you need support. And my job is to support you and what you're doing. But your job is to still manifest being that queen, that sole provider,
That's right.
that carer, that nurturer for him.
Mhm.
So it works so that he can balance it out and won't feel like, oh, now you acting like this or now you acting like that.
Mhm.
You have to bring that home now.
That's
now
right.
that's you, because the roles reverse in terms of like trying to, who's the breadwinner sometime or who is the most dominant in the career.
Yeah.
It kind of reverses because they're trying to take it from us.
Gotcha.
They've been trying to take it from us for years. But now they make us go against each other because they're giving you the opportunity that they're not giving me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we make the mistake of not knowing how to,
Embrace that.
and deal with that. How does that work for you? Like,
I think, you know what? I think trying to, like you said, support one another, and just seeing women in that role. Listen, we're all here to support. And I think that's in our community. I'm just gonna keep it real. We don't support one another.
No,
And even in my role, you have some people who aren't supportive. I don't see why not, because I'm like, I'm trying to support you, trying to support me. I just don't get it. But that's deep rooted. That's a whole nother topic. It's so deep rooted, and I just don't know why. I'm like, we can be so much further than what we are if we support one another. We just could. And like have people out there, like you said, who just probably have never seen it. But if you put us there, place us there, open up the door. We're gonna make it do what it do. We all have made it do what it do. We're gonna make a little something. We're gonna make it work.
Right.
But I think if we have that support and to mirror that's so important. Like I said, even if I'm falling out with you, I don't never when you have company over and you know who the company is,
right.
I'm never gonna be fighting with you.
Right.
Never. Especially as a black brother.
Right.
I'm not. Now behind closed doors, like, why you say that? Why you do that?
Right.
But it's important for us to support. And that just goes down from not only in our careers and our family life and our community with our black businesses. We don't, but we will support anybody
we got a lot
else.
of hate. Yeah, we got a lot of hate that goes on, which is needed actually to make you strive to go harder. But this hate is different. Like, I don't understand it. Everybody else, like you said, they help each other.
That's right.
My biggest point is that when you're making these moves that you're making, you need that person to be there for you, to have your back, to talk to you, and you need to be able to listen. You need not to get cocky. He needs not to get cocky. See, there's a lot of things that you have to develop, and it's learned behavior. Again, like I always talk to my men about learned behavior. Things change as you go on. You have to learn these things as you go through them, and then you look back and say, "Damn, I could have did that." Now I know I could have did that because in the beginning it could have been a struggle.
That's right.
It can be hard, but y'all winning. Women are winning, and I support women that are trying to do something. But I also support women that's making sure that their household is what it's supposed to be, that their children is still able to understand the dynamic of mommy and daddy, and this is what we're doing.
That's right. And it can't be a challenge. You ask my husband, I'll probably weigh in, but that is a challenge because my schedule when I work for CPS is not the same schedule that I work now as a superintendent. So it's many hours. I'm not at home. Before I just go 9 to 5 and I'm pretty much home. And on the weekends, I'm home all weekend. Now it's like I work in the morning. Like Monday, I was working from 8:30 in the morning to 8:30 at night. And I'm coming home and I'm exhausted. I'm on the couch, but I still have to maintain my home. We've been married close to 20 years.
Right.
So trying to, like I said, that work-life balance. And I don't always get it right,
Right.
and my husband will call me out on it. Like,
Right.
hey, I don't care what they doing over there.
Right.
You be
It's all right,
home. I don't
yeah.
care who
They-
having what over
I was just
there.
gonna say that Monday. I was just gonna say Monday. I already know what he said. You ain't
Yeah,
gotta tell
that's
me.
right.
Hey, baby, what the hell going on? What the hell you ain't staying out all damn night,
Yes,
man? I don't know what's going on.
absolutely.
I'm gonna have to make me a trip over there. Goddamn.
And he did.
Yeah,
He came.
yeah, I know. I can tell.
He
I already know.
came.
Big
He
Dave
pulled
ain't
up.
having that.
Big Dave pulled up.
You can see him. Who
Absolutely.
over here? You a new job, new position. What your name is, fella? You want to know what's going on. Right?
Absolutely.
I get that. That's
Yes.
But
I have a son who's 16, and it's was a teenager. He has his own life. His friends definitely always supersede me. As a teenager.
Yeah, when you get to
But he will let me know, like, Mom, let's just go to the movies, or let's go hang out. And I'll pause. I'm like, all right, well, he wants to drive now, so we'll take some time. We'll go driving. We'll go to the movies, and do certain things. And I also have a daughter who's 28, but she lives in Texas. So not saying parent, but you're still parenting,
right.
But
Right.
still giving that advice, just a little different, because it's mom to 28-year-old.
Right, 28 is different.
Yeah, 28 is a little different.
Right.
But trying to, still be there for my little black boy who's becoming a man.
Right.
You have to. I mean, Big Dave over there, yes, he's gonna lend a narrative that I can't lend.
Right.
As
Of
a,
course. Right.
but as a mom, I still can, try to make the time for him, even though I have
And
my
you
position.
know, we as men, we're gonna make some mistakes. We do some things that sometimes you women be like, "What the? I mean, are you kidding me?" And we do make mistakes.
Yeah.
And it's how you react to the mistake now in a different position is what keeps things how it need to be. Because you can easily change and be like, oh, you and now you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose Big Dave.
That's right.
I don't know if you're gonna lose him that day.
Yeah.
But going forward, Big Dave, bugging. What are you talking to?
That's
me? I don't care. I ain't got no job. You know who I am. I'm Big Dave. So you're gonna have a issue. I'm just messing with you.
Yes.
But you're gonna have that you have to understand that things are gonna happen now differently. He has to understand that. Even the parenting with the kid, 28, that changes. I was a parent to my kid, 28, and I lost my kid just recently. To me, it's recent. It could be, you feel like right now.
Okay.
But, you have to learn how to even parent at 28, because you will lose. Something will happen if you're not, where you need to be mentally. So it works when you got that support, when you're working together, when you're trying to make it work. That's how things work, especially in a Black community where the man in the Bible, in the Quran, in the Torah, in the gospel, it says the man shall lead. So you're not trying to take from his leadership because you're put in a better position financially. You still have to let that man be that man. Let that man open that door. Let that man take that garbage out. Let that man make his mistakes and work with him. I mean, I watch some shows still that I like. Ralph Cramden and Fred Sanford and George Jefferson. They wake up every morning with a new idea, making mistakes every morning. But it's how they was able to deal. Wheezy and Alice and everybody else was able to deal with that because they knew, but they never showed them in the higher position. And when they did, episodes that you may see, they showed them act different, funny. And that's a part of it that you got to stay on point for.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? As women, not you per se. I'm talking
right,
about women, period.
Yeah.
Need to know that you can be, we want you to shine.
That's right.
Most men want a token, man.
Yeah.
This is just what it is. I want a token. And I ain't talking about the money part.
Gotcha.
I'm talking about see you come through, what that song, shining, that. I want to see you shining. You
That's
understand what I'm
right.
talking about? So we here for you.
That's right.
But we also still want to know that we can protect you. You can't tell Dave, now I got this. I'm going to go by myself. I'll be there at about 9 o'clock. You going where?
Yeah.
With who? By your what?
Yeah.
No, it's not happening. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just a different topic. You know? But it's good
No,
to see
you
you.
speaking right. You
Nah,
listen, you're absolutely talking right. And me and my husband had this conversation all the time. But you're right. That is my protector. That is the leader in my home.
right,
This is who my children look up to. This is the example.
right.
You know, in leading our home. And I tell him this is the CEO of my household. He is.
Yeah, no, that's facts.
Yes.
But was it easy for you to get in, or did they make it tough? The only reason I'm asking you that because of who your father was. We didn't get to him yet, but
Okay.
because of who he was, her father was the mayor
That's
of
right. Of the village of Hempstead. He's the
of
first black mayor
first black
of
mayor,
Hempstead and the
Hempstead.
first black mayor on Long Island.
And now you're the first black
Yes.
female
That's right.
superintendent, and
of
you're
Parks
his
and
daughter.
Recreation.
So I know people looked at that like, oh, they just let her in, and she just got it.
There
Yeah,
you go.
talk
That's
to me.
exactly what they
Tell
said.
the people, man.
Now
Don't
that's the
tell
word
me.
on the
I
street.
know.
Look, that's the word
Word
on the street.
Tell
That's the word on the street.
Tell the people.
But people, yes, listen, I'm not ignorant to the fact that I do know people in position. I do know people who work in at the village. I understand that. I can call and say, okay, hey, so and so. I'm not ignorant to that fact. That may have gotten me in the door, but guess what? They said I still had to have the qualifications.
Mm-hmm.
I still had to get cleared through civil service.
Mm-hmm.
And they said when the test comes out, you still have to take it. Still got to pass it to keep your job.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people think that, oh yeah, that was Mayor Garner's daughter. That's all that, she just got the job because of that.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not the only thing. That's not the only thing. I still had to come with some smarts. I still had to come with my own thing. He created his legacy, and I still have to create mine.
Right.
So
how is the network between like the other areas in Long Island?
Mhm.
Like I showed you the other day about the family member Nika,
Mhm.
and I told you that they're over there.
Yeah.
And do you guys ever try to come together and make something big happen, or
like other places?
yeah,
like
other in Long Island, like
yeah.
other,
You know what? I have not. Oh, sorry.
Don't worry
My
about it.
eyelashes under attack. I have not kind of collaborated with any other like towns or the other villages to do things. I just don't know how that would work. Not saying that I can't do it,
Mhm.
but would love to maybe do something. Like just recently I was at a concert, one of our free concerts, and a director from Roosevelt Children's Library said, hey, I do concerts, I do these things. I think what she's doing over there is super dope with the library and the cultural aspect. It's a beautiful space.
Right.
There's artwork, there's beautiful cultural things. And she's like, let's collaborate, let's do something.
Right.
So she just texted me today. And I said, we'll reach out and we'll try to do something to better our community as a whole. And I
Right.
mean, just Long Island together.
Right, 'cause
Absolutely.
that's important.
Mm-hmm.
That's important to have, other
Mm-hmm.
allies to make things happen for children who may not be getting what you're giving, and your kids might not be getting what they're giving. So
Absolutely.
put y'all together.
Yeah.
It definitely puts y'all together.
Mhm.
What are some of the things you mentioned? Some things. What are some of the things that you incorporate with the kids on a consistent base? Like some of the more everyday things that you do, like when the park is open or
Mhm.
when the park is closed. Do you have community centers too? Do you guys have those
Mhm.
type of outlets for the kids?
So we do have every day, usually after school. I don't have any formalized program. Trying to build on that and get to that point. To have a lot of things. So what I really lean into is a lot of organizations in the community, like Snug, with Matthew Harris and the people who are doing basketball and
Mhm.
things that are going on with mental health. They do a lot of programming and things with the youth in the community. Some things I'm able to do, some things I'm not able to do, but every single day those kids come through the doors. You have your regular kids who that's all they know is to go to the park after school.
Right.
And sometimes they will sit there for hours.
Mhm.
They'll come in, they say hello, they pick a corner, they pick a spot. So sometimes they may not be a formal after school thing for children. But just them picking up a basketball and going and socializing
Right.
with
It's
some of their
something good. Yeah.
somebody different from another part of town,
Right.
doing basketball, going to the playground, going to the pool. But I definitely want to build on that to try to have some programs, enriching programs for our kids.
Right.
So recently, at one of our other neighboring parks, a small park that I'm in charge of, the coordinator there, Siobhan Gaskin, said, listen, I have a group of girls here who need some mentorship. They need to see some people in leadership. They need some direction. So we're trying to put together a program now for those women, for those young girls.
So would that be like a whole nother entity inside of the same entity? But
Sure.
would it be like you would hire more staff to actually be in that particular leadership role over there?
Well, the good thing about it is, in the community, who the leaders are in your community, who you
Right.
look up to.
Right.
So they look at her as that auntie, that mom figure.
Mhm.
Yes, she will do the programming and the leadership in that with that program, but we also have other nonprofits who are come in to help to give the resources that maybe we cannot, or give the expertise that maybe we can't. And they are leaning into other organizations in the community to say, hey, we have this group of girls over here who needs some type of mentorship.
Right.
You have so many women, like the National Council of Negro Women, who I'm a part of. You have the 100 Black women, the 100 Black men, who are bringing the programs and those resources to community to help not only the children out, but also help the adults out too.
That's good that you're doing that because we need it. They're snatching everything.
Everything.
You know it. You in office. You see what's happening. So we gotta we gotta do it ourselves. We gotta stick together again to support. So the people that you do have, you gotta lean on them more.
Yes.
You gotta hold them accountable, but lean on them more. Because some people can't take accountability sometimes. But leaning on them,
That's right.
they would love this. Yeah, I helped her. Okay, if that's what you gotta do to get okay, cool. Whatever, I'll take it. As long as we help in our community, because my thing is, coming up the way I came up, I destroyed my community for so long.
Okay.
And doing something that was ignorant, that even the good I did was crazy. Like you do this and then you give out turkeys, or you give out and you justify it with, I give out toys for Christmas. No, it kills your community. So now the focus is, let's get it right. Let's make the change. Like I told you about the brother Trey. He realized that he messed up for a long time, and it's time to give back. Not on my watch, he said. NOOW. Not on my watch no more. If I'm here,
Right,
now that I'm here, we're not doing that. That's not gonna happen. Like you see I seen something on Instagram the other day. The lady son, she put her son in jail, and everybody's mad at her for putting her son in jail. But then she showed a video of him taking her phone, roughing her off, cleaning her bank account, and telling her whatever. And she said, if it was a man around here, you wouldn't do this. You wouldn't act like this, But it's hard to keep a man around because, we out trying to do whatever and get caught up in the foolishness. So it's important what you're doing, that you really do it. Like, don't ever give up the fight in terms of that, trying to give them that, to see your face. Like, I'm the Black woman, I'm here, and you could do this. It could be you. I'm saying
that's right. It
that's
can be
important.
You. That's right. And that's just sometimes being visible, just seeing somebody who looks like you in position. It's impactful. Just to see somebody and say, okay, I see Miss Yolanda. She looks like me. Her hair is braided like me. Her skin looks like me. When I go into the office, I'm going to see some Afrocentric stuff. I'm going to see some other things. I know she got some snacks for me. I may come in hungry. If you ask me, I'll go get a cheeseburger. I go get a meal. I have snacks in my office all the time. The kids always joke, but this there for a reason, and it's there for a purpose. Not only just to feed you physically, but when you cross my threshold in my door, I'm going to ask the question: how are you? What grade you in? You go to school today? Would you do your work today? You in summer school? Did you complete your assignments? Did you do your work? How's your relationship with your mom? Did you call your parent? Did you let them know you're here?
Right.
Those things. And that's how I feel like I kind of lead a little differently than someone who was there before.
Right.
You know.
As you should.
Yep. Yeah.
I want to say this because I didn't in the beginning. Welcome everyone from everywhere. Tell Your Truth with Jeff Dawg, where we tell the truth and shame the devil. Had something on my mind when I was starting, so I didn't get that in. I want to make sure I get that in so he can play it back right like he needs to. So
He's shaking his head.
so you you writing books. You writing a book, or you wrote a book, or you writing books, or what's going on?
Yes,
Children's books, right?
Children's books. So I didn't bring one of my children's book that kind of kicked it off, but the work that I did with the in sexual abuse investigations, I wanted to write a book because I wanted to be a tool for parents, because that's a hard subject to talk to your kids about. We think, oh, when my kids get older, when they get older, they think they can handle the conversation. No, you should be talking to your kids just like you talk about. They have the eyes and the nose and the ears. You should be telling them the right names of their private parts. Don't give them these fictitious names that you're making up. They're pocketbooks, they're flowers, they're this and that. So talk to the kids about, I wrote my first children's book called Shanti's Safe Place. And it, like I said, I wanted to be a tool, a conversation piece for the children to read, and then have a conversation with their parent and say, who's allowed to touch my body? If someone does something to my body that makes me feel uncomfortable, who do I speak to?
Right.
Who do I talk to? So that was my very first children's book. I do have so many in my head to help out the kids. But that kind of morphed into my children's book, morphed into speaking when I spoke to a lot of moms and women who also went through sexual abuse, and saying, oh, I didn't feel this way when I was sexually abused. I didn't do that. I didn't do this. And speaking to the women and who have never addressed it, who have never gotten the help for it. And for me, I journal a lot. I have so many different journals. I have one journal that I keep for like maybe out of meditation and manifestation. I have a journal about my feelings. I have a business journal about business ideas as I get them. But journaling helps me out so much. So I said, you know what? Let me create a women's journal. That's what I brought it with me today. So this is my women's journal that I created. And it's just a space where you can go on a daily basis to write down how you're feeling, what you're feeling. And it's a safe space for you, for the person. Even if they don't feel comfortable speaking to anyone else, at least I can write down
what they're going through.
What you're going through.
Now, the word what we was talking about, the word
That's
therapy, you don't have to say it. You can just write your own stuff down.
That's right. You can write it down.
And remember it and take it when you go somewhere to talk.
Absolutely. And then sometimes you can look back and say, oh, wow, this is how much I've grown. I wrote this a year ago. But now that I'm doing this maybe a year and a few months in, wow, my mindset has changed.
Right.
This has helped me. This tool helped me, whatever. So that's why I wrote the journal for women. And now I'm moving forward to my role as superintendent in Parks and Recreation. At my park, we have a community garden. And this space, not that many people realize like what the space is at the park. But me just being there the few years that I have been there, I've been there to about 2.5, close to 3 years. And they have a group of elders who run this garden. And they kind of remind me of my grandfather was a sharecropper in the South. So he grew everything to support his family. And so the men and women who run it, the elders, I've learned so much just from them planting seeds in the ground. And I'm at awe in a few months on what the earth yields, what the fresh vegetables and the fruits.
Right.
And it's so funny because sometimes I go to the garden in the middle of the day. They say, hey, Yolanda, I got cucumbers, I got collard greens, I got tomatoes. And I run down there and get it and bring it to my office. And the teens, they're like, you gonna eat that? Yeah, where you think you get your vegetables and fruits from? I'm like, it's all prettied up in the grocery store.
Right.
But to me, it's so much more than that. They want you to feed your family. Even when times we didn't have nothing coming out of slavery, when the slave master said, I'm gonna give you this piece of land, at least you'll be able to feed your family from what you grew in the land. So I created some coloring books for children
Mm.
because I know the person that does the community garden, she loves kids to come by and to get their hands in the soil and see what's growing. And I said, let me create something to get the kids interested in community gardening.
Mm.
So that's what I did. I created these cute little coloring books.
What's the name? Show them.
Okay, this is the first one I came up with, and this is Gwen's Gathering Garden. And this is a little chocolate little girl who
That's
looks
right.
like a lot of girls in my
That's
community.
right. That's right.
And I wanted to representation matters. I always say that representation
Right.
matters. So I wanted for kids to pick it up and say, hey, this young girl looks like me, right? She has hair like me.
Right.
So that's the number one. This is Gwen's Gathering Garden. The second one is DJ's Garden Adventures, little black boy who's in the garden,
Right.
who looks like many young people in my community.
That's right.
And like I said, that's just for them to say, hey, I can get in. Let me get in there and grow
Do
my
it.
peppers and onions and stuff.
Right. You can do it.
And this is the unity in the community. This is, all encompass all the little girls and boys. And what I like about the coloring books, it also includes those with disabilities.
Right.
You have kids who are in wheelchairs, and those who are maybe visually impaired. They still too can go in the garden and still work and still,
that's good.
gather in their community.
Have you ever heard of well, not heard of, because I know you probably do, Erica Ford?
No.
She's from Queens,
Uh-huh.
and she has a book called Peace, Dr. Peace.
Dr. P. Okay.
It's not called Dr. Peace. I'm saying it wrong. My bad. It's called the Peace Doctor.
Okay.
That's what it's called. And she's I call her activist. She's very strong in the community. She has the life camp. That's the people who goes to when something goes wrong, they go straighten it out, you know what I mean, make it work, try to help the community get it back together. Somebody that you should link in with.
Yeah,
for real.
absolutely.
And she's a black sister that's working hard in the community like all the other ones.
Excellent.
But it's something that we do on the show, and I want to give you the opportunity like I give everybody else. If there's anything that you may want to get up your chest or clear the air, maybe something went wrong somewhere down the line in life, maybe forgive somebody, maybe apologize to somebody, whatever it is, anything. It could be a lot of things, but we only want one. If there's any of that you might want to, speak on, it's your time. Tell you the truth.
I can't think off the top of my head like maybe one particular experience. But I would say my piece of advice is to encourage one another. That's it. If there was a time that if you know me, if I ever wasn't encouraging, which I'm not saying I doubt, but I'm not always the person I've been. I've evolved. So if there's ever a time that maybe I thought something negative, maybe you didn't even hear yourself, just ask for forgiveness to say, you know what, and that's okay. Say, forgive me for the thoughts. Forgive me for any negativity that I may have put out or anything like that. Because it happens. Sometimes we get to talking with people. We get very comfortable. But I would just say that. If I ever said anything or anything, then I'm human. And I always say charge it to the head and not the heart. Forgiveness is key. Forgiveness is definitely key.
That's a fact.
That's it. And give people grace. Where people were in their life, people sometimes evolve. And guess what? If they haven't, then you kind of keep them over there.
Right.
But we shouldn't stay stagnant. We should be evolving, ever evolving. I'm always feel like I'm there's always something new and evolving. But give people grace. Because you too were at a point in life. You too were maybe not at your best or ever thought your best or ever said the best, but just give grace what grace is due.
Well, let the people know where they can reach you at, your Instagram, your whatever, TikTok, or whatever you got going on. Let them know where they can reach you at.
On Instagram, I'm under Garnering Greatness. We always want to garner our greatness. Garnering Greatness on Instagram. I'm on TikTok as Yolanda Hutcherson. And you can find me there. And usually I have a link tree, and you can find me on many different platforms on there.
Well, we'd like to thank you for coming by. Thank you for sitting down, telling your truth with Jeff Dog. We appreciate you. Keep up the good work. Don't ever stop. We know Big Dave gonna be right behind you, so we ain't gonna do too much getting involved with what you're doing. But we appreciate you so much, and we appreciate you too, Big Dave. Thank you for coming out. Remember, be good to yourself, because if you don't, then nobody else will.